Okay, so believe we left off with an attempt at recruiting that didn't go so well for part of it.
We got one old barbarian. We had kind of meh results with the Rogues Guild. We set up advertising and whatnot, and I think we were about to start heading out.
Yep. Which leaves us to, there you go, have a bigger version of the map that's right there of where you guys want to head to.
So we're at the Star.
Yep. And this is the town down here that got invaded. And they're spreading this way.
And our goal is to get here.
That's where the main office was. Let me throw this down on the map layer so it's not as bad looking. That's where the Adventurers Guild was at. Their main office was at.
I mean, we got like 2 ways to get there. Or 3 if you just want to go straight.
Well, we have a boat. We can do the kind of island areas first, or we can just kind of head completely north and work away, like back down.
E.
So you're basically free to choose whichever way you want to go.
Most effective would probably be from where we are to the lake, spread our message to the lake, and then head up to that dot. I don't even know what that dot is. It's like white and green and
Tundra, it's cold stuff.
The dark green is thick forest area, the white is cold, and blue is rivers and lake.
Brown stuff is like sandy desert stuff.
Yeah.
So that is my line of thought. And I apologize, I must run to the bathroom.
So whichever way you decide to go, you're given the transportation. If you're gonna go on land, you'll be given a horse-drawn carriage for the group of you.
What does everybody want to do? Like, do you guys want to go to these outlying cities and shit, or just straight to the thing?
I guess it would be a good idea to try and pick up people on the way. Because right now we only have one, right?
Yeah, he's missing a leg, barbarian.
We should probably check some of the outlying places out.
So, do you guys want to do like the islands, or would you like to like hit up small town to our final destination? How much traveling does everyone want to do?
I think that depends on how many recruits we pick up. Until then, as much traveling as we need to, I guess.
That makes sense. We could go like here to here to here to here to here to there to like maximize our like radius. Unless peeps want to go to the actual islands to like get extra.
So what's the final plan?
Unless to maximize our recruitiness and probably getting us where we need to be levelized here.
Probably the
And then
small
just make
towns.
small towns, and then just do a clockwise circle until we hit the middle.
Fair enough. So this one is the very first one you're going to? Right here?
Yeah,
Okay.
unless anyone says otherwise. Oh shit, fam, what's it called?
It was
Damn.
such a simple name too. Yeah, that was it. Just Twin Rivers.
Okay.
So I was like, it was such a simple name.
So what did I miss?
They've decided the starting town. Or which one you're going to first.
Okay, where are we going?
To Linda's hometown.
We're thinking about doing like a clockwise motion, like from here to there, there.
Okay.
Alright. So, relatively easy, you guys set off towards there. Not really anything that gets in your way heading there. You cross the bridge and get to the small village. So your generic small village has an inn. Anything that Gund wants to add is also there.
So Linda, lead on.
Guessing I'm not going to get a whole lot of reading done here.
Is Gundy even here?
He's here, he has a fan on, so it'd be picked up by his mic, which is why he's responding through chat rather than mic.
Which is probably why I haven't noticed.
Yeah.
So to the mail.
So you can head there. If anyone wants to wander off as well, you're free to.
Nah, just to the mayor's house, I guess.
Alright. You head off to his house. Linda leads the way. You pass by the general post scenes and all that, and
So are these dwarves, humans, orc? I'm just wondering how many more bearded ladies there are around here.
So, the only thing I'm gonna change is instead of his house, it'd be more the city hall that you would head to. Just because it'd be kind of odd just to walk up to the guy's house and be like, "Hey, what's going on?"
Have you not played any of the Tales games?
I actually haven't, but
I'm experiencing it for the first time. And there's a whole lot of, like, just walking up to this dude's house and talking to them.
to be fair, that's RPGs in general. Aside from, I don't remember what RPG it is. You walk in and you talk to a guy and he's like, "What are you doing in my house? Get out." It's like, yeah, it's fair. All right. All right. So yeah, you pass by, the general postings and all that, and walk right up, and yeah, why not? You can actually run into him. If Gund wants to name him, free to.
Is he named Tim or Steve?
I regret giving Gund the option.
I read that as Bigelow.
Sure enough, Like, oh, no, I'm surprised to see you're back, actually.
Did you all separate on bad terms?
Are you now?
I feel like there's animosity in the air.
Let's see. Going to quickly check how to pronounce this name before I say it. Really? Okay. No, not that. I got Boogaloo. Trust me. The only one I could think of is maybe Folk. He might be available to help you, but he hasn't been around as late.
Is he missing?
He's not necessarily missing. He could be. Honestly, it's only been uh, about a week, but he tends to go out and adventure once in a while, so him being gone for a week isn't rare, but I believe he was mentioning something about a lost building or something like that to the north of here, before the river.
So, out of game, like, I see the city in kind of in the two rivers. So, what is the geographic, like, distance? Are those, like, 100 miles apart, or?
It's about 50 miles if you go from the right branch to the left. It's about 25 each way from the city. See, that's the thing that annoyed me, Gund. That's actually spelled wrong. Because if it was that would have been way easier.
Is it like FAULK or something?
Fowke.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So it looks like we have a potential rescue mission for. We will leave no man or woman behind. So, do you have any or additional information other than some rune building up north?
Nah, he's kind of always in a hurry to go, so.
Melinda, is there anything else in town that we should take a look before we go find this, or at least try and find this person?
Want to give Gun the chance to type out whatever he's trying to say before I continue on. Yeah, the only thing the mayor adds on is that it just be your only bet other than what he can give you would be to ask around. Maybe somebody was talking to him more about it before he left.
It sounds like both the general goods store and the blacksmith could be, spots to check out for a blossoming adventure. Should we go to the general goods first?
Yeah, so, it's not like any of the village has changed since Linda was last here, so lead off to the general store and all that. Again, since this one is your starting town, if you want to name any of the NPCs, you're free to, or you're free to pass on them if you don't want to. So, it'd probably help if I could fucking write at all. And didn't just like merge every letter in that word all into one. Alright, so you go to the general store with a slightly younger woman running the shop, to which Linda has addressed her as Miss BB. Oh, hi. Good to see you again. Yeah, he did. I don't question where he goes anymore, really, but he came by, grabbed some rope, a tent, and a couple of bottles on the way out. Yeah, yeah, couple of the glass jars over there. On the shelves are a couple like mason jars, basically. Uh, uh, just that it was somewhere up by the river, because he said he was gonna try and catch some fish or something to bring back as well. I feel like you should take the silence as just acceptance.
Sorry, dealing with drama on this side. Yes, blacksmith. Blacksmith sounds good.
Alright, so same thing, free to name. As you walk into a small blacksmith, probably about the size of the one that uh I don't remember character names right now. That's an issue. Just gonna. Right, so about size one of probably Rahima would have seen. Rahim would have seen. But way smaller than one that either Akaash or Dahistorius would have gone into.
To be fair, mine all would have been for a military installation.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be small.
Alright, so Mr. Alfie responds, go, oh, you know how it is. Tools break, get repaired. Happens quite often, so let's go is good. Oh, he did at one point, sometime last week. He came by and needed a. What did he grab? He walks over to a desk and starts flipping through some papers. Right, he wanted a new short sword. Don't know what he could have done to his last one. And he wanted me to try and make one of these, and he pulls out a piece of paper. But I couldn't get any of the metal to work right. It's fundamentally just a kunai, but the hope was to fill it with some kind of, basically to make it a throwing knife that could also double as a Molotov.
Oh.
From your knowledge, it wasn't going to work with how it was drawn up in the slightest.
I confirm that looks like a terrible idea. At least how he wanted it.
Just something about doubling as a weapon and a tool to clear through some sealed off passage or something. Trying to limit what he was carrying, I think, but who knows with him.
Well, if you're going to have something that's that volatile, it's essentially a throwaway. You could throw it, as its name suggests, and then it explodes. And then that's it for the weapon.
I think he wanted a couple of them, so it's not like it was going to be a one and done, but I couldn't even get one anywhere near working.
It's because you need magic, darling. Magic. Take out one of my bullets. Put it back in my little holster. So, it would appear that nobody actually knows what he was going to do. Because we hear something about a secret passage, a fish.
Yeah, from basically what Linda can give you and what you can gather from the townsfolk is maybe the first 2-3 times he went out on an adventure of his, everybody was worried because he suddenly went missing. After the 12th, 13th time, everyone's like, whatever, it's him. And he'll be back.
To the north.
I guess in that meantime, assuming, because I'm just assuming that Dahistorius is on the lookout, you do see a shop that might sell some books and whatnot.
What's it called?
Always with the names of you people.
Bookie McBookstore. Got it. All right, so I'm gonna go with. So, what do they have in this dusty, dingy place?
The bookstore is called Under the Covers.
Oh, well, nice.
I dig it.
Your wildest fantasies fulfilled.
Oh, it's one of those kind of bookstores.
Oh, shit, fam.
You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be just about porn, but we're in a fantasy setting, so reading about a fantasy setting while yourself in a fantasy setting will be less fantasy than, if we were just to walk into a bookstore and get a fantasy book.
I mean, the fantasy books that they would have would probably be, it'd probably closer be like just everything is like Die Hard, basically. It's entirely feasible if everything perfectly worked, kind of thing. That would basically be their fantasy. Right. Well, when you go in, it's, based off the town, it's not a big place. There's like 2 shelves of books for sale, and then a third shelf of uh, basically a library. Like, well, not library, like not that expansive, but rentable books.
Hmm. Well, just looking around and browsing the selections, would you say there's anything in there regarding constructs and or time?
Roll a d100.
Oh,
There actually is books regarding both.
how many? Just like one and one?
Uh, 2 for constructs, 1 for time.
Well, I'm going to call the owner over and ask him how much does he want for these. Probably going to keep them. Not really interested in renting.
Um, yeah, it takes a look at the ones. Say gold and 5 silver for both. Or for all 3, rather.
Just the gold and 5 silver for all 3.
Yep.
Tell you what, here's 2, and I'm taking both. Or all 3, excuse me.
I did the same thing. So. Alright, pleasure doing business with you.
Thank you, thank you. So what is it? 1 book on time, 2 on constructs, or 2 on time, 1 on constructs?
2 on constructs. Basically, what I'll do, because I don't know what your intention is fully with the constructs and all that, but if you're
The
going to
end
be...
goal is to, like, make one. Kind of like how...
Okay, so that's what I was figuring, was it? But basically what I'll do is for the lower level constructs, basically for each book you have, it gets a bit better. But for the higher end, it's like every 2 or 3 books you have on it, everything you can piece together from what you have, basically, when you start being able to actually craft them.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
So keep track of how many you have for that.
It should be 3, and I believe I got a 4th one when we were in the first town. All right, well, that was productive.
So I guess now you guys are heading to the north to try and find this place.
Unless anyone, I guess, wanted to go to the general store or something, I would say we're heading north after this, northwestish.
So instead of blind wandering a forest, I'll just, if anyone wants to give a survival or a nature check.
It's almost like we have a druid with a bear.
Rahima don't know shit.
Would you prefer I make this with the bear?
It's
Survival, you said?
or knowledge nature, whichever you'd prefer. It's basically a how long is it going to take you to find the place rather than you guys are searching through a forest for a long ass time. Because whether or not you guys are aware of it, you do have the at least the general idea where you should be at, give or take. So alright, so with the at least the 2 of you probably correcting anytime Rahima goes like, hey, actually it's this way, and you guys are like, nah, it's over here.
Yeah.
You guys get there, say it take you about 3 hours because of the distances I said. That'd be about like a 30-mile trip, if that, or actually that'd probably be longer. I'm gonna say 3 hours because that, personally, I don't see it really supposed to take longer than that. So distances, whatever. Before you come across an abandoned building, not entirely run down, but definitely not taken care of yet. That would be a perception check, or yeah, actually just perception. So looking around, you guys don't see him, but you do notice that the door, while it's closed, is not fully closed. It's kind of like just enough to where it looks like it's closed from most angles, but it's slightly ajar. Not even that far open, rather. It's generally just abandoned main room.
I believe that's also perception.
Yeah.
That's definitely a natural 20.
Yeah, that is. Alright, I'm gonna move you guys over here. Basically, so I'll let you with that. You're gonna explore around and whatnot. Don't mind that ping if that actually went through. I'm just moving where that was. Look around. You don't find anything out of the ordinary. You have a. Go ahead and just type these so it's easier. I mean, I'll try to type these, I guess. Why aren't you letting me type? What's going on? It's really weird. It's making me like hold while I do it. Nope, that one's not gonna. I don't know what's going on with Roll20 right now. But I don't know why I had to hold to type all that, but hey, here we are. So looking around, nothing really out of the ordinary on these, other than the fact that it's all abandoned. Well, I mean, I guess it's up to you if that's out of the ordinary or not. But you do find a stairwell heading down, was hidden, attached to the study. Um, yeah, there's a couple. There's some books, one's just on general science of the era and stuff like that. One is on arcane magics, and another journal you actually recognize as something that your father has written. This is probably gonna hide way more than I want to. Yep, that's gonna hide everything. Hey, look at that. It's all entirely just stuff of how to inscribe runes on things.
So entry level magic stuff.
A bit more complicated than that. Yeah. You find some spoiled provisions as well. There is definitely some cheeses, alcohol, probably a fruit or two that hasn't fully rotten away. And so, are all of you heading down, or only some? Or
I'll go down.
does anyone else want to explore the upper bit before you all travel down?
Hmm. Have all the books in the study already been gone through?
What was that?
Have all the books in the study been gone through? I don't know if there's maybe anything more that can be picked up. I'm not like looking for like any particular books. I'm just trying to, I guess, figure out what happened, or just maybe see if there's any hints or something we can find.
Um, Linda would have looked at all the books that were available, but if you want to give a perception check or some other related skill for books to try and investigate it a bit more, you're welcome to. Alright. Well, you can't get much out of the arcane book. It's not really much to get from there. As far as the science book, the book itself opens up a lot easier to a couple of pages of what the era would know of, I guess, humanoid biology? Biology in general.
Hmm.
Because I feel like while it's easier to say human biology, I feel like a book that's mass published in this era would also have stuff, any differing things for elves, orcs, and other civilized races.
Yeah, I got you. Humanoid biology. But I guess I'll thumb through that while everybody else or whoever is going. Yeah, I guess whoever's going down in the basement, I'll just be up here. I guess just kind of waiting.
I'm going to quickly search through the upstairs before we decide to go downstairs, just in case it leads down further.
As far as the upstairs, you give a second pass through. There's nothing really that stands out to you. All the rest of it is pretty untouched and just forgotten about.
So I guess we're going down.
Right, so who is in the group that's going down? Linda, Raheem.
I will, once I've taken a look at everything up top.
Akaash, and is Briddell going, or is she staying up with Dahistorius?
I think I'm gonna stay. Keep an eye on things.
Okay. Right, so you guys head down the stairwell, and the first thing you're greeted with is a metal door that locks from your side.
Oh no. Something's meant to be kept in.
Does it look like it's actually locked? Like it locks from our side, but is it locked?
Currently it is.
So do we want to try it?
Hell yeah.
So is it just a simple lock, or do we have to try and pick it?
Well, the locking mechanism is on your side, so you literally just unlock it.
Is it just a standard metal door, or does it look like it's structurally reinforced to take a beating?
It looks like it's... let's see.
I'll do that if that helps.
Fair enough. It'd be the same kind of door that would be on an armory in the military. It'd be basically if something got in and it got sealed in there, nothing of the firepower inside is going to help it get through.
Okay, so I voiced that. Which means if this is actually meant to keep something in, it's probably going to do a very good job of that. So I forget, who's the actual frontline fighter in the group?
Rahima and Linda.
Yeah. So, so all of us are downstairs except Dahistorius and our druid friend,
Yes.
correct?
And
So,
technically Siind as well, but
Siind doesn't exist right now.
yeah.
He's died in a ditch somewhere. Well, I will unlock.
I feel like you let go of the push to talk too early, so I'm just going to assume you said unlock and open.
Yes, yeah, sorry.
I heard unlock and then that was done. So, the three of you down there, go ahead and give a fortitude save.
Fort?
Yep. Alright, so Rahima's the only one who fails. As you open the door and you are hit in the face with what could only presumably be the smell of rotting corpses and burnt flesh. So
Lovely.
the two of you kind of have like a moment of like, oh, okay. And Rahima, it might not be relevant, but you're sickened for 3 rounds. So it's only 18 seconds, but could be relevant, might not be.
I'm over here dry heaving.
So, potential undead. Is the room dark?
It's dimly lit. You have a couple of torches that are burning to keep your view, so I'll just go ahead and give you the whole thing. The black squares are just, it looked weird without anything being there. They're nothing. But it is a room with multiple doors set up exactly how the rooms there are set up, with a small slit in each of the doors. And 3 of them are open. No, nothing in plain sight. At least no bodies. There is signs of blood and whatnot in front of a couple of the doors, or a little bit about the room, but
Does it look fresh?
no.
I don't like it. Rahima is very like, what? It smells bad.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this either. But we should clear it room by room.
Did you guys get stuck in another maze again while I was gone?
No. We opened a door and it smells like death and decay, and I got hit with the full brunt of the smell, so I'm over here.
After a bit of time, eventually the smell does make its way up the passageway, so while Dahistorius doesn't get hit by it, it just suddenly you eventually start to smell it as well.
Pretty odd smell. Guess I will make my way in that direction and find out what's going on. But I'm not gonna like immediately head down there. I'm just gonna kind of, I guess, from like the top of wherever, just kind of peek in and figure out what the hell's going on. Why does it smell so bad?
As far as that, from opening the door, there's no way to easily close it without you knowing that it's getting closed. It kind of has a bit of weight to it. It stays open by itself, but there's nothing around that you can use to hold it open or to put in front of it to try and stop it from closing.
Sounds like someone needs to stay outside in case we get locked in.
Is there anything upstairs we can use as a way to keep the door from?
With a bit of finagling, you could probably get like a piece of furniture down the stairway down into the place.
I'm sure we could finagle like a chair or something in the way.
it's a it's like a it's probably about a 5-foot room actually. Give or take. Yeah, about a maybe a 6 or 7 foot room is a spiral staircase that it is. So it's might be a bit awkward getting something down, but other than that, it's possible.
Okay, well, I'll take the time and do that.
None of the doors are actually open, just a couple of the slits are. Alright, well, going clockwise, that will be the very first room there. Which... give a heal check, I guess? Yeah. Sure enough. Looking in, you can see what you can only summarize as a pile of charred remains of some person. Yeah. That'll be this room here. Um, there is a small pile of uh, ash and bone next, a little bit away from a corpse that's missing from the elbow down of its right arm.
As a general observation, are the burned corpses, ashes, or whatever, in roughly the same spot in each room?
No. And yes, you can. Like the first one is kind of towards the center, the second one that he's looked at, the ashes is just kind of like off to the right side, and the body is on the opposite end of it. That's just what appears to be a guy who died from malnutrition. There's just a boulder in that one. I guess I should also clarify that each of these rooms does have a bed as well.
So whoever's doing human experiments down here.
Looks like it.
Going through, you see basically different variations of either like a burned body, a destroyed body. There is one other boulder, and then Folk.
Oh, he's dead.
He is unconscious. He is laying
Oh.
down, seems to be breathing, barely.
Can we? We need to be careful and open this door. I don't know what they've done to.
Uh,
I don't actually remember. Is anybody a cleric?
Maybe. Technically an oracle.
But he's outside with me, isn't he?
he came down when the smell eventually got to him.
Oh.
Well, he
Okay,
decided to
I'm just the only one outside then.
poke down,
Yeah.
kind of.
I just kind of waiting at the top of the staircase there, kind of like covering my nose, like, I don't know what's going on. But, unless anyone, I guess, starts screaming for help, I'll be up here. I think y'all got it.
I don't think oracles have channel upon or positive energy.
No. I can, like, heal, and that's pretty much it.
So he is currently alive, slightly malnourished, with what you would actually recognize as the same runes that you would use are going down his arm.
Runes who would you, sir?
Linda would use. He has fire going down his arm. Well, the runes for that. I mean, kind of. You can wake him up. He does slightly respond to you, but he's not doing well.
So I would assume just opening and busting up the cell would probably be a bad idea.
His door was actually left unlocked, so he was able to actually get in. You don't find any traps or any triggers. Alright. You do so. Nothing happens.
We can put him in the den/slash bedroom. Like, if there's a bed there, lay him down.
So, after a little bit, eventually, Dahistorius, you see Linda leading the group back up, carrying a body.
Oh, Who's this? Is he
Well-
dead?
So we could use a heal or two.
Alright, well, let's get him somewhere, I guess, that has some space, and we'll see what we can do for him. Like, should be a bedroom up here, no?
Upstairs, probably. Yes, his den bedroom.
Yeah, let's just get him onto a bed, and then I'll see what I can do for him. Maybe he can tell us what happened.
Is there anything else downstairs that we haven't checked?
You haven't explored any of the cells, but from what you can see through the slits, there's just beds and dead bodies and 2 boulders.
Are the people squished underneath the boulders, or are they the boulders?
You don't see any people underneath them from when you're looking through?
Okay.
Do we want to check the cells?
There might be something.
Yeah, so you can get him to the bed and all that, and if Dahistorius wants to heal him.
Ooh, nice. I think that should be sufficient enough.
Yeah.
We should probably post somebody outside if we're all going to be up here.
I believe Briddell was outside.
I'm still outside unless something's changed that. Does someone want to come outside and let me know what's going on, or?
I'll walk outside. Yo, we got tings.
Oh, what happened?
We found the guy, but there's a lot of dead bodies and bad stuff in the basement, and this guy's near death, so uh-oh.
So, oh.
Should we go and try and get someone from the town, or?
Well, they're gonna try to heal him or do something to see if they can get like something out of him, but we're gonna probably transport him to town once we know he's stable.
Alright.
And so after being healed, after a little bit of time, he eventually does fully wake up. I don't know, and I don't know some guy in a mask. I feel like I've slightly written myself into a hole because I don't want to do either cliche, but honestly, it'd be basically a plague doctor's mask. Just something about wanting to get better fighters. He'll like hold up his arm and kind of look at it. Uh, something, something to start it was this, and he says the command word, and his uh, arm going down the runes ignites. He kind of freaks out at that. And he's like, and he says another word, and it stops.
So looks like a mad scientist trying to build super soldier.
He's looking at his arm, and no, doesn't look like it. So he starts to stand up. I think so. And I was just looking for some treasure.
What kind of treasure?
Oh, you know, old buildings always have some kind of hidden treasure, right? I heard some people when they were passing through, they saw it, and I came by here before to scope out the place to make sure it was at least stable to walk around in.
So what were you planning on doing with an explosive kunai?
I mean, secret door is gonna be sealed, right? Just kind of what they do to secret doors. Also, Dahistorius, just because you do have healing capabilities, you would also be aware that he probably has some con damage as well.
Hmm.
Deep gashes in body parts tend to do that.
Okay. Uh. Would those not go away if I just healed him, like, enough? Theoretically? Unless he's, like, losing con from poison or something.
Con damage goes away over time. Well, ability damage goes away over time, or if you restore it using restoration, it doesn't go away from generic heal spells.
There's like a second or third level spell that actually restores ability damage.
Yeah, lesser restoration. I don't know if I'm ever gonna get that, actually.
Does anyone else have anything they're doing here before you guys start to head back towards Twin Rivers?
No, I'm good.
Well, we kind of have everybody going. I will just kind of do another look around everything.
Anything in particular you're looking for, or
Just anything that may be hit, or what exactly they were trying to do here.
uh, no, you can't really find anything that hasn't really already been found. It's a couple of like old clothes in the closet, but nothing really unusual or more recently touched.
Okay, well, if that is it, that is it. I was secretly hoping for some encounter.
So on the way back, nothing out of the ordinary happens other than occasionally when he thinks nobody's looking, Folk says the command word again. Kind of just like basically testing it out.
It doesn't matter if nobody's looking. Somebody's gonna notice a fucking arm that just poof, fire.
It's basically when nobody's looking at him and tells him he can't. You'll notice the fire start up and stuff like that. But it's basically it's like, let me activate it before you guys yell at me not to, and see what it does.
I'm sorry, is he trying to activate a flaming arm?
I mean, technically.
So he didn't have that before he went in there?
No. So you guys make it back. By now, Folk has turned off his arm.
Well, I guess he'll never be caught unarmed again.
Am I able to reach the back of his head to smack it?
Most likely. And about a half hour. Unless you need to end earlier. Alright. Well, if that's the case, if everyone's alright with ending earlier, then we can, just to give some time. That way you can prepare for what things you want to investigate or do and whatnot.
I don't think there's much to do in this specific spot, so let's try and recruit him and then move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds
Well, it
like
is
a fair plan.
Linda's hometown, though, so.
Linda's running the show.
If that's the case, also there is a cleric in town who basically casts restoration on him.
Oh, snap.
Did we figure out if this guy was gonna join us or not?
No, but we did just save his life.
He probably will once he's, like, recuperated.
I feel like he's also going to go with you on that trip.